Hey, this is Eric over at Techno RV, and in this video I wanted to do a comparison of the lineup of the Southwire portable power units. The different units are, there's a unit that's called the 200, the 300, the 500, and the 1100. All of these are UL certified lithium ion batteries. They are all pure sine wave, which means it's going to be good clean power for your electronics. They all have built-in inverters, which means that they're all going to be able to power your AC dependent devices like wall plug type items, and then they're also going to be able to power your DC dependent items. Now, the differences in these sizes relates to the rating as it relates to watt hours. The 200 is 222 watt hours. The 300 is 296 watt hours. The 500 is 515 watt hours. And the 1100 is 1166 watt hours. Now, what are you going to get when you order these? Each one of these will, of course, come with the battery unit. And then you're also going to get a DC power supply to charge the unit up. It's a cigarette lighter style. You will also get an AC power plug, just a wall outlet plug to charge the unit up. You'll also get a barrel tip kit in case you've got something that you have that you need an adapter for. That actually comes with each one of these units. And then, of course, you'll get your operating and instruction manual with your unit. Now, any of these units can be bought at technorv.com, and when you order from us, we're going to send you our learning series, and that's our own guide to sort of, we just want to make sure you're successful with whatever you buy from us. So we put our own instructions together to hopefully make it a little easier on you. Now, we've talked about the different watt hours of each one of these, but what does that really mean? Each device that you want to power will have a wattage rating on it. And just for simplicity purposes, let's say we had a battery that was 200 watt hours. And I wanted to power something. The power rating on what I want to power is, say, 50 watts. That means that I can run that 50 watt item on that 200 watt hour device for 4 hours. Okay, so you basically just divide the two numbers together. And so that's kind of how you need to think about it whenever you're looking at which one of these units is right for you, is like, what are you going to be powering on this? Are you going to be powering things that are like energy hogs, like electric griddles? You know, if you may want to run a TV, a hair dryer, a coffee maker, something like that. Now, the wattage on those is going to be much higher than, say, charging a cell phone that may be in like 10 watts. And the other thing to consider is maybe you're not using like these energy hogs, but you just don't want to recharge your battery as much. So, I mean, you could get the 1100 and be just charging, you know, low consumption items or powering low consumption items, and you would be able to do that for much longer without recharging it than with, say, the 200. So those are all things to consider. The other thing to consider is that you don't want to exceed the rating on any of these units with a particular item that you want to power. So, for example, let's say there's something that you want to power. You want to be able to open your garage door at home maybe, and if there's a power outage. Well, that might be 1,000 watts. So if you wanted to do that, you know, you would need to get the 1100 watt one, right? Because that 1,000 watts exceeds the 515 from the 500 and down. So that's another thing that you want to consider is you don't want to exceed that overall wattage rating on any of these units as well. As it relates to the displays on all these, they're all color displays, and they're all displaying how many watts is being drawn from the unit as you plug items in, and it's going to tell you how many hours you have left based on what you've got plugged in. So if I've got one item plugged into this 500, depending on what its wattage is, maybe it says, hey, I can do that for, say, 15 hours. And then if I plug another item and another item and another item, then it's going to run that calculation in real time and tell you, hey, now with all these items, now you don't have 15 hours anymore, maybe you got 10, right? So all of them do that. And then as it relates to the ports on the front of them, they all have AC wall outlet style plugs, but they just may have a different amount of those. Like the 1100 has 3 wall outlet AC style plugs, whereas from here down they each have 2. They're all going to have USB style plugs. The 2.4 variety, which is more of your standard, and then the 3.0 as well, and then it's also going to have that quick charge USB like what I charge my Apple iPhone with. They're all going to have a cigarette lighter style plug. If you have something that needs that, it'll have it. And then it's got 2 barrel plugs for DC as well if you have a unique situation that might need that. Now the 200, 300, and 500 all have a built-in LED light that can be adjusted as it relates to the dimness. They're actually very bright. And then they've also got a flashing mode, whereas the 1100 does not come with the LED light. All of these units can be charged with an industry-leading 6 different ways. You can charge it with your cigarette lighter out of your car. You can charge it with a wall outlet plug that comes with the kit. You can charge it with USB, a generator, or you can do AC plus the PD outlet on here. You can do both of those at the same time to charge it actually quicker. In addition, all of these will work with the Southwire 100 watt solar panel. This is a quad fold solar panel. It's 100 watts. And this is sold separately, but it will work with all of these units here to charge your unit solar with solar panel. And we've got another video on that. Now, I've made videos, individual videos on each one of these items. So if you want to go look at like more specific details on each one of them, you can do that. But I did want to also talk about the different measurements on these and how much they weigh. So let's go ahead and do that. The 200 is 8.46 inches in length, 6.3 inches wide, 7.56 inches high, and it weighs in at 6.6 pounds. The 300 is 8.46 inches in length, 6.3 inches wide, and 7.56 inches high, and it weighs in at 7.61 pounds. The 500 is 10.2 inches in length, 6.5 inches wide, and 8 inches high, and it weighs in at 11 pounds. The 1100 is 13.19 inches long, 9 inches wide, 8 inches high, and weighs in at 24.7 pounds. So you can get all these units over at Techno RV, and we're happy to help you with your decision-making process. You can call, chat, or email with us. The solar panel, again, is optional with all these. However, we do have a kit with the 500 that includes the solar panel, so you can keep an eye out for that if you want the solar panel with the 500. But again, the solar panel will work with any one of these. So we're always here to help. Hop on over to technorv.com, check them out, and as always, safe travels.